day and good night. Welcome to Positive Rate. I saw Nighthawk on the tarmac earlier, but he seems to have disappeared. I know he's around. Morning, Nighthawk. I see you in the chat there. How you doing? I saw you pop in and then you kind of disappeared. I don't know what was happening there. So I don't know if this is a new multiplayer bug or something else. Very strange. Anyway, got some lovely free scenery today. Thank you to Nighthawk for finding this. This is Lapu Lapu in the Philippines. For free scenery, it's really good. Pretty cool. I hope you're all doing well today. My name is Willie Canuck, of course. I do have a hat somewhere. And what are we flying today? Yeah, see, this is what happened before. I can see Nighthawk, but just as a guy. Maybe he's going to sprout wings and fly with us. I don't know. Hopefully it corrects itself. We are in the CRJ V2 from Aerosoft. So we've got some legacy thing there. Nick is not with us today. I'll get rid of that. And we're going to be flying over to Brunei today. So I'm going to put my hat on. I'm going to get a sip of coffee too. I feel like I'm a bit behind the cow's tails at work today. We're at the cuckoo's tail. You're in the CRJ 900 with default air care. That's strange. Huh. Don't know why that's not working. That's very odd. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Maybe if you start moving, sometimes it corrects. I don't know. It could be something like that. It's just a rendering issue. Anyway, CRJ looks amazing. Are there better payware packages out there? Yeah, but this is really good. I mean, I quite like it too because it's the only CRJ in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it's modeled pretty well. The V2 obviously has been updated for 2024, which we're flying in today, and I've had a few spins in it, and it's really enjoyable. It's a different kind of plane to fly, obviously, because there's no FADEC, so everything's manually controlled with the engines. But there are ways that you can kind of make life easy for yourself, and I'm going to demonstrate that today, hopefully. It is a bit twitchy. You've seen it on other streams that the pitch can be a bit twitchy and other things. So I've tried to drop the sensitivity just a little bit in custom profiles, see if I can help that out a little. Yeah, we'll jump right in. We got there we go. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful cockpit, and the EFB is pretty decent too. Very mature. We are currently sitting on an external power. I've aligned the nav. That's about all I've done, so I've not done anything else yet. I have loaded flight plan into the EFB. Now, I am going to cheat here. There's a couple of really easy shortcuts. So you can send the flight plan to the FMS. You can set your payload and fuel, which is really cool. And then going to the performance, we can see this is all pulling in from SimBrief. Set the payload in the simulator, and you can copy the performance data to the FMS. Now, is that a cheat? Yeah, absolutely it is. But it just makes things a bit easier because it's a bit of a fiddly aircraft, to be fair. And that's not Aerosoft, that's just the way the CRJ is. So our V-speeds are all here too, so those are currently not set. So if I go set all, you'll now see that those are ready to go, and that's all calibrated according to our payload and fuel, etc. So yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, while we're waiting to see if Nighthawk is going to materialize something that there's a person, we can bring the sim noises up here. Let's do that. And I'm going to turn the music down here. We've got Boris audio installed. This has just come out and been updated for the V2. It does make a massive difference if you've got the default sounds, I must admit. It's very, very inexpensive. $18 Australian on the Orbix site. You can go get it there. I mean, I think it worked out to just less than £10. Absolutely nothing to cry about. Quite happy with that. So anyway, we got external power on. We'll go to the aircraft here. We're going to close the doors, and you'll hear cabin announcements kick in as we do these things. potentially. Unless the cabin announcement's been overridden, I'm not sure. Possibly it's waiting for us to start the APU. So we're going to click that once. Yeah, you can see APU invite. Let me try that again. Hang on. There we go. That's a click. There we go. That's the that means it's open now. So if you look at the back, you can see this little APU door open, which is really cool. And let's start this up and see what it sounds like with the Boris audio. Very cool. Can't complain about that. That sounds really great. Now we should have actually put our beacon on at this point, and seatbelts can come on. I do have a preset here just to make things a little bit easier. We can put emergency lights to arm. Air conditioning can come on as well. And it's got, the CRJ is clever in certain ways. It's got auto packs shut off when you're on engine start, which is really cool. You can definitely hear that air conditioning come on now. We put on our hydraulics. Everything else is pretty much auto. The APU and the generators, you don't really have to mess with those. They'll just click in automatically as they come in, which is really neat and helpful. We will need heat, the windshield, and the probes, of course. Anti-ice, no requirement for that at the moment, so that should be good to go. Apart from that, set our initial altitude's already set at 10,000. I'll probably leave that there for the moment. That's completely fine. And anything else we need to do right now? Now there is a way to turn on the transponder, but I have not figured out how to do that. I can see it's on standby there. Maybe if I hold that down, I'm not sure. That allows you to change it. Yeah, it still says standby. I'm not sure quite. I got to read the manual, guys. I got to read the manual, but it's okay. We're not on VATSIM or anything, so we're not going to get shutted out for it. Right, flight plan. Let's go through that. I'll go get up the brief here. So there's no SIDS or stars for this route today. Above stabilizer trim and standby knob to left. Oh, right. Let's go look at that. Hang on. Above stabilizer trim. Oh, there we go. Aha! Thank you, Dino. Much appreciated. Okay, cool. Right. Let me get up the route. So, what are we doing today? We are taking off from Lapu Lapu, runway, I think it's an 04 departure. There's probably an extra wayport that I've taken out. We're going basically direct to SABEL, and then we're going over, I think they're the Palawan province of Philippines. It is part of the Philippines, so we're going to do an overflight of that, and then head a southwesterly course to Brunei. Well, we're flying along the coast there. Now, we're going to intersect through Bru here, and then essentially it's coming back for runway 3. So what we're going to do is, we're not going to do that. But we're going to come in through Bru, overfly the airport, and then do a slow circle around, intercept the ILS path for runway 03 into Brunei. And hopefully, if everything goes to plan, it should work perfectly. Just going to adjust that light a bit. There we go. Need one of those bright streamer lights, but I'm always afraid it's going to just make my life horrible and be too bright. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so that's how we're going to do that today. Right, so departure, we will go runway 4. Is that not? What's happening here? Oh, we've got a, and we've got a freeze. There is a bug in this. I have seen it happen once or twice already. And sometimes the FMS just freezes up. Unfortunately, I'm hoping that this is something they're going to fix in a new patch. I'll just try coming in and out just to see if that makes a difference. I don't think it will. Right, so we're going to have to abandon that, come back in, but we'll get things set up really quick, don't worry. That's frustrating. It's probably because I've been sitting on the tarmac for ages, so I don't know. But yeah, just this little bug every now and then, the FMS just completely freezes up, which is a bit frustrating. Actually, it should be able to come back in there. Let's try that. That's the one good thing about 2024. When it's working properly, it actually loads very quickly if everything's cached. Oh, change the... change the weather. That might, hopefully that might actually fix the rendering issue with... There we go. Okay, let's try this all again. But yeah, at least you can see the full startup this time. Right, so bring in the flight plan. Go in the aircraft. Flight plan come in? Yes. Go in the aircraft. We'll add some power. You can actually hear the startup noise too with the Boris audio enhancements, which is neat. There's the battery coming on. And you get this little kind of computer chatter thing, which is kind of neat. It's the alerting system. All good there. Nav. We'll put the beacon on right away. Let's get everything quickly sent through. So send the FMS performance. Again, set payload and assembler. Copy performance data. Set the V-speeds. No, because I don't want to wait around here, we're just going to go to instant on the ILS alignment time. And we'll go to index. Position initiation, set that in there, and quickly just turn our INS to nav, and that's going to come in straight away. That's perfect. Okay, right, let's try this again, shall we? Flight plan. Did we send the flight plan to FMS? Okay, there it goes. Departure arrival, runway 4. No departure. And departure arrival is ILS 3 by Brew. And we'll execute that. There we go. So that gives us our straight out. We'll do runway heading, of course, when we depart from runway 4 initially. And then turn our ident on as well. There's that there. There we go. Okay. Get the APU started up here. Make sure that door is open. Okay, I think we may have double clicked that, so let's click it one more time. There we go, that's open, we can start. Might as well listen to that again. Beacons are on at this point. Seat belts. Emergency lights to arm. And I'll put DC source on as well. Once we get a APU available light there, we can disconnect the external power. Just waiting for that green light to come on. There it is. External power can come off. Back to the aircraft. That can come off, and the doors are already closed, so that's fine. And we will make sure we've set the payload in the simulator, have we? copy performance data. Hopefully that's not messed anything about. Yeah, okay, still looking good. That's fine. Happy with that. Turn up our integrated lighting here just so we can see things if we're in the shadows. That one is around here somewhere. There we go. Lighting. And there's a little dial up here as well, just to give us a little bit of illumination. Everything's set 10,000. We need to set the barrel, which is 1009. There is, just hide that down a bit. We got a barrel here. Everything's kind of through that screen, so you need to switch that. You can see that's now dropping to 1009. Other cool thing about CRJ, which I quite like, it's got a reasonably good heads-up display that you can roll down. The only other airplane I can think that these are featured in generally are there's some variants of the 737 NG, and there's also, I think it might be in the Airbus as well, possibly the new A350s. So that's cool. Flight directors can come on. And I'll just make sure that is off. Everything else is looking good. Get our heat on. And I think we're ready to go. So let's get our boost pumps on at this point. And we'll do pushback. Don't have any. There's the only other thing I wish they could add in this, if there's never an update, Aerosoft, if you're watching, we could really use just a really simple pushback tool in the EFB. I think that'd be great. A lot of us don't have GSX. I am one of those people. So I'm going to put the brakes on. So we're just going to go straight out. Again, I cannot see Nighthawk at all at the moment, so hopefully that resolves itself. Oh, chocks. Silly boy. There we go. Picking the chocks out really makes a difference. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push us straight out, and I'll dismiss the push truck, and then we'll start the engine separately, so I'm not having to concentrate on two things at once, and we can really get a listen to those engines as they come in. If there's one thing that Boris Audio definitely does well, it's engine startups. Okay, now you can stay where you are. That's enough for me. Thank you very much. Off you go. Possibly, hopefully, maybe. Yep, there he goes. Okay, right. Are we ready for engine startup? So, slow press on. We'll start with engine 1. This is startup sequence initiated. Waiting for that to reach N20. And we just flip the lever, bring it into idle. Now, the CRJs are relatively quiet, so I'm not expecting a massive howl or anything like that. Yeah, I think so. It's pretty good. Sounds just like a jet, doesn't it? Okay, we are waiting for good engine start on 1. Let's see, N1 has now come up past 20, so that's pretty good. The ignition is off. We'll start with engine 2. Again, just waiting for that N2 to reach 20. We do have lots of news today to talk about, so we will do that at cruise as always. Okay, that is a misstart. That's because I flipped it back and forth a bit too much, so we'll try again. Initiating sequence is cancelled. Okay, we just reinitiate, bring that N2 back up. Go. That's a bit better. Oh, you can really hear it inside the cabin. Oh, that is nice. That is a very nice effect. Wow. Talk about ambient. That is pretty good. Pretty good. Let's do a quick control check here. Okay, let's see what the flaps sound like. So we'll set that to flaps 8. There we go. It's more spoilers and flaps, isn't it? Everything else looking good, I think. We're ready to roll here. So put on the taxi lights. APU can come off at this point. And we can close the door. There we go. So if we look at our annunciator, anything else we're missing, right pack, left pack. Oh, yeah, that's because we restart. We'll put that on. A little bit of air conditioning in there. And we've got a little bit to do here. So we got stabilizer trim to put on. Lock trim, which enables the autopilot. And there's a yaw damper switch there and there. Ground spoilers, brake pressure. Oh, no hydraulics. That would help. There we go. That clears all our yellows. Good to go. Roll out to 4. So where is 4 now? Currently facing. So 4 is going that way, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Release brakes. A little bit of power. See Nighthawk there. I don't know if it's still showing as yeah, it's just definitely having trouble rendering that CRJ as a third person for some reason. I'm wondering if this is something that might get resolved in the sim update too. CRJ is pretty nimble on the taxiways, as you would expect. It's very light. And we have set flaps 8, yes, so we have it. Okay, anything else we need to worry about at this point? I don't think so. You'll just have to compensate with some nice screenshots, Nighthawk. Curious Nighthawk, do you see me as a CRJ? Is it okay on your end?
Directors on. We'll change that to takeoff shortly. I did actually have a problem when I first installed this. So I installed it in both sims, as you would, and on both sims I had the same problem. The nav mode would simply not engage. I had everything set properly, set to FMS direction, everything like that. Just would not follow flight plan no matter what I tried. So I ended up uninstalling everything and just installing in 2024, and everything works now. So I don't know if there's some sort of conflict if you have it in both sims, but if you are struggling with that problem, I would suggest just uninstalling everything, reinstall just in one sim of your preference, and try it there, and it should fix the problem hopefully. Yes, I'm a United CRJ 700. Okay, interesting. Wonder if it's because I haven't loaded the 900. I think if you load it as a 700, maybe it would come in. Not sure. I don't know. But I don't want to set you back on your flight plan. Okay, approaching runway 4. This does have a low clearance as well, this airplane, so you do need to be very wary of tight tail strikes. I found that out a hard way. Okay, just pause it there for a sec, put on the brakes. Right, strobes can come on. Mrs. Tippy, how are you? Good morning, Mrs. Tippy. Hope you're doing well today. Final checks about the board. Everything's set. Power is on. Packs are on. Seatbelts are on. Everything, I think, looks good. V-speeds are good. And let's bring down that overhead. Getting fantastic FPS as well. One thing I really do appreciate about this airplane, it doesn't seem to be any performance hit whatsoever, which is absolutely wonderful. Certainly nothing that I've come across yet. There's a few other handy little features of the airplane, such as automatic heading set. Just by pressing the heading knob, you can center your at least I'll still see you flying behind me, Nighthawk. That's a good thing. Okay, let's listen to these noises. I think I can almost hear an engine howl there too, which is really cool. Okay, here we go. 50% power. Toga mode set. Takeoff thrust. Approaching V1 rotation speeds. Slightly back on the stick, not too much. time to clear the ground. Positive rate, we can now pull back to our climb heading gear up. Overpitch. That's my fault. Gears in. And we'll do autopilot engage, and we'll set our heading mode. Now, we want to maintain that speed, so we're going to arm that. And reduce the climb thrust. Oop, we want to do that. And we'll increase to 210 or 210 roughly initially. Clear the flaps. Listen to that. Wow. That sounds amazing. Okay, let's steer ourselves on course. So we're going to bring our heading around. Bring a nice intercept there. And I can't even remember what our 380 is our cruising altitude. This is a proper performer, guys. Oh, 50,000 might be a bit ambitious. Let's bring it down to 38. And you can see that's changed there. There's our altitude set. Okay. Increase our speed to 250. And we'll arm the nav. If we double click on SABEL and hit execute, that'll give us a direct path, and we should see the airplane now go en route. Off we go. What a difference that Boris audio makes. Nighthawk says there's an A330 with a collapsed gear. What, in real life? Oh dear. It seems to be a bad year for incidents, doesn't it? Or they're getting publicized more than they usually are. I think that's possibly another thing. So you can see we have our throttles and climb thrust. That's exactly where the airplane likes to be. We're now braking 10,000, so we will take off. Oh, well, we didn't have our landing lights on in the first place, so that probably doesn't matter anymore. Turn that off. Missed that step. We can now increase to 290, I believe. Just watching down here for that change. Aircraft will pitch down a bit just to gain its additional speed. And we'll just put Snoopy in the doghouse there. Very handy feature just to be able to hit that heading bug and get it right where you want it. Okay, I'm going to bring those sim noises down just a bit and bring the music up again. Yeah, just going to change up the music here for a second. Something a bit more chill. At the airport we just left, there was a Korean Air with a collapsed gear just on our departure. Oh, right. I didn't notice that. Sounds a bit dodgy. Now I'm going to see Microsoft 2024 do its thing. Look at that scenery, guys. Absolutely beautiful. It's been a bit of a grind trying to get this to a flyable state, but my god, it's really starting to improve now. Very, very happy. Just trying to see if I can see Nighthawk anywhere. Not yet. Look at those mountains in the distance as well. Isn't that cool? Big thank you to Nighthawk for the flight plan today. Just about to depart on our westerly course over to the Palawan Islands, I think it was. And we got some music cruise as well. But look at that climb rate, guys, 3.1. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's fantastic, if that's true. They are very nimble little airplanes, for sure. Okay. And we've got a flashing cue there. That means we've got to go into standard barometric pressure. So a quick tap on the barrel knob, and that will bring it to 1013, which is standard pressure. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get everything settled into a cruise. I'm going to grab another coffee, and then we'll do some news. Look at that, beautiful. Oh, you're late to the party, Nighthawk. She's been here for ages. Okay, could probably take seatbelts off of this plane. You don't really get much of a ding for that. So I'll just do a chime. We do have weather on this. There's not much weather to speak of, but I did find that really hit the frame rate, so I tend not to use that. We can see our climb rate is starting to arrest a little as we get closer, as to be expected. Ooh. Fuel seems a bit on the light side, doesn't it? I'm not sure if that fuel's come in correctly. Take a look at our OFP. Where are we? So we are coming up to SABEL. No, are we? Yes. What do you, I'm cruising at 380. 380. I'm just a little bit concerned about our fuel. At SABEL, we're supposed to be at 3514. Oh, maybe a guess. No, I think we're okay then. Yeah, that should be. That's on target. That's okay. Okay. Cancel the emergency. No, that's completely fine. Okay, not a problem.
can put a little bit of time. So once after we do the news, we'll do a landing brief. One thing I have noticed is, and I've seen this voiced by another content creator who's an actual CRJ pilot. He says it's better to put everything into kind of VOR heading mode before you go into your ILS approach. Technically, the plane should go directly into ILS approach, but he says it's usually better if you do it through heading and then use VOR as your source. So that's what we're going to try and do. Passing 29,000. Probably have enough time for since about 70 miles, 60 miles. $40 miles. Excuse me. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, no, I'm a bit too close to cruise, so I'll wait until we get up, because the problem with this is the airplane's not going to slow down. I'll just keep accelerating, going at overspeed, and then we got problems, so I'll need to wait. But at the moment, it's behaving absolutely wonderfully. Looks like we got a bit of a wind as well, so you can see that airplane turning a little bit. Oh no, that was there was a little waypoint in there I didn't see. That's what it was. But it is it's a lovely airplane to fly. So many nice little details to it. I quite like it. Looks really nice at night as well. It's probably one of the more unique overheads as well. It's just slightly different than any other airliner that you would see. But once you get the hang of it, it's lots of fun. So on that note, I just want to congratulate Aerosoft. I know that there's a few mixed reviews, shall we say, for this V2, but I got to tell you, on the whole, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a great airplane to fly. We'll definitely be flying it again. In fact, I've contacted Flight Designs, and we have a CRJ 700 livery in the works. For positive rates. So soon we will have a custom livery for the CRJ. And the cool thing about it, Mrs. Tippy, is if you're ever interested, well, you don't like airliners, but yeah, I think you can get this on Xbox as well. I'm pretty sure you can. Don't quote me on that. So yes, we will be having a custom livery at some point in the future for the CRJ 700. Which is the extended range model of the CRJ as well. So we should be able to have a lot of flexibility with that. And that's what I'm flying right now. That's what I'm flying today. Yeah. That's great. So huge thank you to Flight Design for taking that on. There are lots of liveries for some of our fleet. If you go into the livery channel on Discord, and you can find that. I'll just put that into the chat. Come and say hello. Come and join us. $34,000. B2's not in the marketplace, maybe a while. Ah, right, of course, the marketplace is still kind of being revised, isn't it? I think part of that might have to do with the fact that Sim Update 2 is not out yet as well. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but look at this, guys. Mach 7.9, not a problem for this airplane. Not a problem at all. Can easily pace any 737 or A320 without a problem. You can see that climb rate's come right down now, down to 800 feet per minute. And once we settle in, we'll just need to find a nice cozy position for our throttle setting. And once I'm comfortable that the airplane's not going to overspeed, I'll go grab my coffee and we'll do use a cruise. But it's a cold day in Scotland today as well. We've had some warm weather, but it's been really clear skies. There's always been this kind of cold wind present. So we've had this really hot sun, but a slightly cold wind. But today, we've got the worst of both worlds now. So it's overcast and it's cold wind, and it's just it doesn't. And of course, like everything, it was warm during the week, and then it's gone completely cold for the weekend. So, who says there isn't a God? I think there is, and he's got a sense of humor. Sure, I think there's a map on here as well. Oh yeah, there you go. That's quite handy, I like that. That's a very nice touch. Take off the far stuff. Overspeed is better than stalling? Debatable. Don't want to rip the wings off. Now, stalling you can recover from. Overspeed, you've got a limited period of time to sort the problem out, or you've got major problems. Do you notice that seems to go into half bank automatically? I think it must be something to do with the altitude. Let's see if it comes off. Mr. Tippy, hello. Good morning to you. Good morning, sir. Hopefully you're sleeping better now. When we spoke last week, you said your sleeping pattern's been thrown a bit off because of your contract up in the SUKUS. That is 36,600. Almost there, guys. Almost there. A lot better now? Good. Good to hear. Yeah, it's not a nice thing when your sleeping patterns are not cooperating. It affects everything, doesn't it? Poor Mrs. Canuck was off her work yesterday. She had a terrible migraine to the point of making her feel nauseous. And she was going to go into work, and I just told her, you know, you're not in a fit state. So she called in sick. And she's still not 100%. She's still got a headache, but I don't think she's quite as bad today. So I made her some non-bread pizza last night. So get the big, thick naans, and I do it as a pizza. Bit of tomato sauce, fresh toppings, mozzarella cheese. And I didn't think she was going to eat it, but she must have been hungry. She absolutely gobbled it. Okay, we've got our altitude horn on, so we're just waiting for that to approach 38,000. Look at that. Nice and high. The CRJ. Still widely used. It is now approaching retirement in a lot of airlines. I don't believe it's still being made anymore. A lot of airlines are now shifting in favor of newer designs with more modern engines. It does beg the question, though, if they'd come out with a Neo version of the CRJ, if that would have been successful or not. I know Delta's got one less CRJ than they did about 6 months ago. Oops. So hopefully we don't have a repeat of that incident. Okay, the airplane is settling into cruise. So we just need to wait for that to stop, and we're going to see the airplane begin to accelerate again. It can control speed on pitch, but once it gets level, you need some manual adjustments to the throttle to prevent yourself from overspeeding. And I'll show you how much adjustment I'm making, just in case you ever fancy flying this yourself. And it doesn't take much. Okay, there's our capture. As that pitch comes to nothing, we should now see that speed begin to peak up a little bit. There we go. It's starting to float, so what we're going to do is we're just going to bring this down. Maybe about there. It's just to see a little bit of behavior. We can see that slowing down. If it starts to drop below speed indent there, I'll just give it a little bit more. About there. See if that's happy. That seems pretty solid. Okay, I mean, you do come back, you look at it every so often just to see where you are and make adjustments. But anyway, I'll leave you, let's see if we got a nice view to look at here. No. Leave you with a wing view, and I'm going to grab a coffee.
I'll be back.
So shortly. I guess. Oh, that takes the heat off, or the edge off the cold a bit. Okay, where are we? Tracking nicely. See if we can see Nighthawk at all.
Can't see it ad hoc anywhere. Do you have any screenshots you could share, Nighthawk? I want to see what you look like. I think I'm cold. I'm shivering. Oh, should probably put the heat on. I'll probably give a go in the CRJ in 2020 next time, I think. Just see how it works, how it does. And also if I can install it without breaking the nav, that'll be interesting. It's got a really good throttle calibration to it as well. And what I like about it is you can set your different things, but you can increase the tolerance. So if you add it to 1,000, as I've done here, what that will do is it'll put, I think it puts a tolerance about 500 either side, 500 points either side. So it's nice, clicks in nicely. It's got a very similar calibration to the fly-by-wire. Mr. Tippy says, not sure you get a lot of hockey on TV over there, or if I'm a hockey fan, but did you see the over-checking tied Gretzky's goal score? Oh, he tied Gretzky's goal score last night. No, I didn't. I sometimes get game highlights on YouTube. But, wow, that's a big accomplishment. Who's over-checking playing for at the moment? I haven't even looked because it's playoffs, isn't it? I haven't even looked. Let's look at the table. Washington, okay. Just looking at the scores. So we got okay, so they're not in the playoffs yet then. But they're close. Maple Leafs are in a great position at the moment. And the Jets, I think the Jets are looking really great this year. See, the Oilers have dropped a couple places though. I think were they not leading at one point? Very cool. Some screenshots in Discord? Okay, no problem. Oh, there you go. Yep. All-time record of 894 goals. My God. Well, if there was a great time for Gretzky to be overtaken, this is probably it. Won't get into that, but screenshots. He's only 1,240 assists away from Gretzky's assist record. I don't think anyone's going to get that. I think players are too selfish nowadays to get records like that, Mr. Tibby. That's a good screenshot. Here's a nice one. See me in the background there. Very good. I do like the
Your can delivery, it's quite cool. Good taxi picture there. What a shame that I couldn't see Nighthawk. Doesn't look like there's a massive difference. Oh no, I'm showing up as a 550. Ah, right. Looks pretty long for a 550 though, doesn't it? Oh, look at that. I love this shot. Look at this. This is great. Isn't that beautiful? That is really nice. Good shots. Great shots there. One last one. Nice profile on the clouds there. Yeah, that's really good. Excellent shots. Okay. Excuse me. Music cruise. Our speed's looking all right there, so let's get into that. Time for the news, guys. Yeah, a few things to talk about today. As mentioned, Boris Audio has released their CRJ sound pack availability for the CRJ V2. You're getting to experience that today on the live stream. It's absolutely fantastic. It's not expensive. If you got the CRJ, I think this is a must-have. Boris Audio is a really, really nice enhancement for a few airplanes, and we've got that for the PMDG 737. It does sound really good. The nice thing about this sound pack is it has all the variants, so regardless of what variant you're flying in the CRJ, it's going to make a difference, which is cool. Headwind simulations, sorry for shouting, they're providing further previews on their Sukhoi 95X. It's a controversial airplane. I mean, commercially, it's not regarded as a success at all before it's even really accomplished anything. It is, it does bear the badge of being the only Russian-developed airplane, although I think it uses Pratt & Whitney engines. And as far as avionics, I mean, you can judge for yourself, but I think, I don't even think they make that. So, it does look a little bit different, not sure. Either way, it's, on paper, it doesn't really compete with the A320neo or the 737 MAX in terms of range or efficiency. But at times like this, I guess Russia, it's probably quite an important airplane because they can't buy anything else. But if you're interested in that, it is, you know, and it's another airplane variant. Certainly that's one to watch, and I believe the headwind will be a freeware thing. I'm not entirely sure. I think it is, but you can go check that out. Miltech is showing off the Black Hawk is looking really cool. The avionics are very interesting, and they have just added a blog entry talking about how they don't need to use SIDS and STARS and have, you know, separate kind of navigation protocols and technology to be able to accomplish that. But yeah, it's looking really, really good. I'm not sure if there's any other pictures there. Yeah, nothing to speak of. Inabuilds has released a 2024 edition of their Los Angeles scenery, also known as LAX. Looking really, really good. Look at the detail on that. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know how much it will be for frames, but the price is not bad. It's for the complexity of the airport. They're looking for about £22. Or if you have the 2020 version, this is fantastic. You can upgrade to the new one for 2024 for just £5. So that would be about what, $6 US or something like that, $7 US. And it looks really good. I mean, look at this. Look at the detail on that. Absolutely stunning. So if there's one thing that InnoBuilds does very well, it's scenery. Not a huge fan of their airplanes, but their scenery is definitely something to behold at times. Borelli, Microsoft add-on, has released Venice Lido. This is a LIPV. I think we've actually flown to this destination in the sim. So we can get some. And it's looking pretty good. Sorry, bring that in full screen there. Like, lots of nice little details. Yeah, I do remember flying to this place, actually. It's a very interesting little airport. Can you imagine just sitting there, you know, sipping an espresso on the patio, waiting for your plane to roll in? I think that would be absolutely lovely. But it's looking pretty good. So yeah, if you into your GA flying, that's definitely one to check out. Laminar Research they're working on a 12.20 beta, and apparently this is a complete overhaul of the graphics. Apparently this will make a much better or it gives you much better results inside the cockpit as well. I think a lot of people are complaining that cockpits were very dark, which this apparently corrects. But it is looking stunning. I mean, at this point in time, there's not a lot of difference. If you put scenery aside, because obviously, you know, Microsoft Flight Simulator has the world scenery, but I mean, look at it looks beautiful, absolutely stunning. You know, I'm so pleased for X-Plane fans, because this is really making a big difference in the sim. Fantastic sim, highly recommended. It is still regarded as best of breed in terms of flight dynamics, although I think that gap has closed significantly between Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 now and X-Plane. But either way, a sim is a sim is a sim. It's a fantastic sim. Nobody's going to say different. And it just continues to improve on how it looks as well as how it performs. So definitely one to check out. Talked about that one already. Orbix. Do you like power lines? Do you feel energized? Orbix has a solution for you. They've got a new enhancement. Just see if there's any more. Oh, here we go. New enhancement for power lines. I believe this is this Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024? It doesn't say. Well, for both. So this is actually for both. But yes, it brings all sorts of different variety in high tension towers. Different sizes, as you can see there. So yeah, it just gives a little bit of enhancement, makes the world look a little bit more real. There you can see it in practice there. That actually looks fantastic, I must admit. I have no idea what this does to your frames. So if anybody ever tries this out, do report back. Let us know how it does for you. But even I'd see it even does the regional lines as well, which is very cool. But it's looking good. I mean, that really, I can see how people would be very pleased with that, especially if they're flying over an area that they know and they are familiar with what the power lines look like around there. Flight control replay, if you are an owner of the replay system, flight control have now included custom support for the, I presume, the InnoBuilds A350. Yep, it is. Fabio Merlo, who's developer, has released version 5, and it's gonna just make things click and work really good with the 350. It's also compatible with the PMDG 737, the 777, Phoenix A320, and the fly-by-wire 320 Neo. So very cool. I've never used this before, but if you're interested and you want a really good replay tool, you can go to Sim Market. It's going to cost you about 16 euros. There is a real-world Neo version in testing. Oh, okay. Right, cool. Mr. Tippy says some of the other streamers that fly with have had Powerline mod for quite a while, and it's awesome, and they've said there's no frame drops. Fantastic.
There you go. I might check that out myself. Now, when you're Nighthawk, you're referring to a Neo version. Are you talking about the CRJ by chance? This is cool though. Look at that. I mean, this is pornography for flight simmers, isn't it? Wing is now taking orders for their PAP3 autopilot panel. It's a Boeing style panel. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. It's going to give you, I think, probably more suitable to the Boeing side of or the 737 side of things, but you know, it'll be compatible and I would assume very acceptable for anybody who prefers to fly the 777 or the upcoming 757 from Bluebird Simulations. I don't know how that compares to the 787, but anyway, it looks fantastic, and I love that they've done it black. Because I really hate gray stuff. So I could just see this, you know, in like a home cockpit setup. I think it would look absolutely brilliant. And it's just amazing, you know, how the Wing continues to impress. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. They obviously had a really good cameraman there. But, and the build quality looks pretty good. I mean, without actually seeing it in person, it's hard to say, but it looks absolutely fantastic. Anyway, that's the news, guys. We'll go back to our flight. Where are we? And we're still hitting Mach 7.9, so I mean, yes, you can see that there's been a little bit of bleed off, but it's been so insignificant. It's not even worth me actually making any adjustments. So obviously, once you kind of get that stabilized, the plane does behave itself quite well. We are now over the Palawan, I would think. There you go. Beautiful. Look at that. Now that is something. What I do want to do at this point is the Neo for the Russian plane. I see, right? The CRJ ended production in 2020. Yeah, I thought the CRJ was done. I mean, that was the whole point of the C series. It's just unfortunate that Boeing and their dirty tactics pushed things in a way that forced Bombardier to make some difficult decisions. But having said that, I'm still delighted that the Airbus 220. The C series continues to fly, is continue to be successful in the market as well, because I think they're over 1,000 orders now between the 100 and the 300. They are still talking about a potential 500 stretch series, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it looks like Airbus is going on the verge of announcing a brand new regional airliner. Brand new. So probably taking all the technology from the 380 and the 350 and applying that to something that flies regionally, which is something that Boeing should have done, but didn't. So yeah, watch the space. I think we're going to see a big announcement in the upcoming months or the next year or so. Okay, I'm just going to hit that heading bug, bring that back up to the top. Right, let's do our landing briefing. How come there's no altitudes here? Oh, right, okay, that might make a difference. Let's bring that in. Let's see if that gives us some calculations. Like our altitudes have disappeared for some reason. 3,500 at Brew anyway. I don't know if that's going to give us a top of descent.
looks like it might. Wait, see. Let's go into plan mode and just step through. No, that's just the constraints. So, okay, this is weird. So we'll do RUMPA. That's 80 miles. I would say probably LANEK. We are at 380. EMTEN. Let's put 380 in EMTEN then. Let's see if that kicks in some sort of calculation. It thinks our cruise is meant to be lower. I think that's the problem. So we've obviously not set the cruise properly in the flight plan. That's why. That's not carried through. That's the risk you pay if you're trying to bring this over automatically. Windwings quickly becoming one of the top makers of peripherals. Yeah, they are. They are. Some of the other streamers we fly with have had a power line mod. Oh no, we talked about that. That's fine. And way cheaper than most of the other stuff. Well, yeah, I mean it's a Chinese-based company, isn't it? So. Oh, do I have a reverser set up? That's a good point. Yeah, I do now. Thank you, Night. That probably saved me a bit of embarrassment, actually. See, I don't think there's a performance page on here. Oh, there is. What's in that? Ah, it is missing. Look. I forgot to put that in, so I'll put that in now. Let's see what that does for us. We could probably take out that hard constraint. So if I clear... Oh, right, there is this little... Okay, we are now getting a landing profile. That's what I wanted to see. So we should see a top of descent marker. Yes, we do. That's perfect. Easily fixed. Good, good, good. Put that back to track. Oh, do I have reversers? Yeah, I do for controls. Yeah, I do. So what I do is I have on. I've got I use my trigger, so that this button here. The way that I've done it, because I have separate pedals for braking and all that. So what I've got it on the trigger, which is the toggle. So if the trigger is depressed and I'm holding it, it's the reversers kick in, and then all I do is advance my throttle. And that basically it's like giving me reverses. I know that's not how it technically works. Well, it kind of does. I mean, it's basically the same as flipping that up and then advancing. But it seems to be the easiest way for me to do it with the controls I've got, because I don't have like a dedicated reverser type of control system. You can, with the SciTech throttle quadrant, you can put a switch on it, but I find that is very inconsistent, so I just prefer to use the trigger. It took me a little while to get used to it, but now I've got muscle memory, so I don't even think about it now when I'm reversing. It just kicks in automatically, and it's very easy to keep control of the airplane as well. So yeah, so yes, I'm able to do the reversing relatively simply. I've just come up with a perhaps a unique and innovative way to activate them. But I think I've shared that advice with some other people, and they seem to find it works for them as well. Oh. Still got a ways to go though. See if we can get a better look at the islands. which is the reason that Nighthawk took us this direction. Well, can you see Nighthawk in the back? Can't see him yet. Don't want to go to the escape menu on this because I think the Aerosoft suffers the same issue that the Avro RJ does. Is it seems to shut off everything for some reason. It's some sort of weird quirk between payware add-ons in Microsoft 2024, so I don't really want to start messing around with settings, but happy to do that once we get on the ground. But I don't think I've changed anything. So yeah, this is a province of the Philippines. Obviously very disconnected from the mainland. It's a very quiet airplane, isn't it? That's our top of descent right there. So we're just about 160 miles off, not too long to go. And then we'll see if I can get this landing. Now, oh, we're going to do the landing briefing, weren't we? Okay. So, as mentioned, we are landing runway 3 today in Brunei. That is course of 031 with an ILS frequency of 108.9. So if I dial that in now, just so I don't forget. That's good, that's ready to go. Now what you can do, although sometimes the autopilot will change everything on you, so you have to check it before landing. But what I can do is I can go set my heading there, go into heading mode just for a second. I'm going to change the nav source here to VOR course, and I can set my course of 031 from here. Because as you can see, it's just set to 0 at the moment, which doesn't mean anything. So I'll set that to 031. You can see it changing. So that's ready to go. Now, you do need to double check before you land, because the autopilot uses the nav radios to make reference adjustments. Make reference adjustments for its navigation. So if that can change, that course can change. So you do need to come back and check it and make sure that it hasn't altered on you. But if it doesn't, that means it's ready to go. We'll just, if not, we'll just have to set it again. Now that I've done that, I can switch it back to FMS and re-engage nav. Do not do that if you have not set heading mode. You are going to create problems. But temporarily setting it to heading mode, it just allows you to have a wee peek. Are your name tags off by chance? No, because I saw Nighthawk's name tags earlier. But he was showing up, but he was only showing up as like an avatar, like a little guy standing on the apron, which was a bit weird. So I think my thought is that the sim's having difficulty rendering the CRJ as a third party. I don't know. Obviously, it's not happening for Nighthawk though, so it's a little bit confusing. But what are you gonna do? Depending on how far behind me he is, I might not see him. That's a good question. Let's see what happens when we get closer to landing.
But, you know, it was working perfectly when we were... oh, no, we were flying 2020 when we were doing the Bravo flight, weren't we? I think what we'll need to try and do is maybe a general aviation multiplayer session, like where we're just flying around and could be the Bravo or whatever. But we'll try that in 2024 and really see if we can get everything working there. And then at that point, I can see if any of my settings are wrong. But yeah, I'm a little bit confused if I'm being honest. I do think that there's probably some issue with the sim as well. So until sim update 2 comes out, it's really difficult to say definitively if there's anything that can be done. Or if it's something my end, I don't know. If it's maybe because my internet connection isn't as strong. It could be something like that. Maybe because you haven't loaded the CRJ 900. That did occur to me, but you've loaded all CRJ versions. That's probably it. It's probably not compiled. I think you're absolutely right now. So, I'll tell you what you can do, Nighthawk. Then we can test that theory after we land. If you just want to quickly load back in as with the CRJ 700, then we can have a look at it. Okay, I'm going to take that range down a bit. Still got that constraint on EMTEN. I don't know how to clear it. Maybe just slash? Delete. Maybe try delete. Let's try this. There we go. Did that work? Oh, you got to execute. There. Okay, that's it. So you hit delete, and then that'll take the constraint off. That's fine. I learned something. Remind you have to touchdown. Okay, we'll do. In the sim, you are behind me, but on Volanta, you're ahead of me. Oh. You're right. I'm just looking at Volanta now. Yeah, because you're there. That's where you are, and I'm here. Huh. That's okay. That's unusual. Don't know what that means. Certainly can't see you ahead of me. Whoa, look at that blue water, though. Ooh, that's nice. Wow, look at that. Isn't that stunning? Guys, I'm just going to pop away quickly to use the facilities. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Wow.
Back. Just gonna make a quick change. It's gonna look a bit funky. Give me a sec. Hi, Stu. How are you? Nice to see you, mate. We're having multiplayer problems. I can't see anybody today. We're in 2024, so I don't know if that's got something to do with it. That scared me a bit, too. It's just only out of the blue. Oh, man. I want to put that below Meme TV. That's working though. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's working. There you go. I can see your comments coming up on the chat again, or on the screen. So you're doing well? Good. Glad to hear, mate. We're in the CRJ V2 today. At the moment, it's doing extraordinarily well. It's flying absolutely brilliantly. Just taking some of the nice blue water around the Philippines as we come into Brunei. Yeah, that will be Brunei coming up now. We should get some nice views along the coastline as we come in. Now for descent, because we don't have a auto throttle, the best way to do it is to use vertical speed, and the VNAV will give you a cue on here as to what you should set it to. And then at that point, it's just about managing your throttle power a bit just so it can stay within range. And the plane will basically do its thing. It works very well. And if you're going too quick or too slow, the cue will adjust itself depending on where it thinks you should be. It's a little blue circle. You'll see it come up once we hit our top of descent. So it isn't far away. It's just over 80 miles. Check our progress here. Looks like we'll still have over 2 tons of fuel by the time we get to Brunei as well, so that's looking fine. So we had 2255 kilos at OSANU, so we can reference our flight plan for that.
according to this, let me find OSANU on here. According to our OFP, we should have had 2 ton. So we're actually, our fuel burn's actually better than we thought it would be. We're ahead of the game. It's good. Sorry, just in case you're not, just to show you what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at this figure here for OSANU. But yeah, as I was saying before, I keep forgetting I have this. So there will be a little blue circle that shows up like that, and then that basically indicates where you need to set your vertical speed. Which is pretty cool. Is better 2020 version CRJ? Sorry, is that a question or a statement? I tried it in both initially, but when I installed it to both sims, I found the nav wasn't working. So I just put it in 2024 for now. The nav was working properly. I'm going to attempt to reinstall it in 2020 and see if the nav still works. And if it does, probably the next time we fly the CRJ will be in 2020. So do you have the CRJ, Stu? Do you ever fly airliners or not? I can't remember if you do or not. Look at that, guys. That's lovely. I just love that blue water down there. It just looks so inviting, doesn't it? You have it. Okay, cool. Yeah, huge shout out to Aerosoft. I think I mentioned this before when they first announced it, but you know, the CRJ was a reasonably good airplane. There was better stuff that came out. After all the missteps that they've made over recent years, I think it's an incredible act of kindness to all the existing CRJ owners to basically give a free upgrade to 2024 and all the variants with the V2 version. I think it's absolutely astounding that they've done that. And based on my experience so far, we will be featuring the CRJ a lot more on the stream. So hopefully that's going to boost Aerosoft's credibility back to where it used to be. And it's well deserved, certainly on this add-on anyway. It's really, really fun to fly. Really cool. And I hope they continue to update it and improve it. Oh, you've just got the 2020. Well, Stu, you automatically get the 2024 version if you own the 2020 version now. You get both for nothing. So if you go into, if you have Aerosoft 1, well, it depends who you bought it from. Did you buy it from Orbix or did you buy it from Aerosoft directly? But I think even Orbix you get the free updates. So, but they haven't appeared yet. I think someone said they haven't appeared in Orbix yet. Mr. P says Flight FX is supposed to be doing the same thing with the Honda Jet. All right, they're completely rebuilding it from the ground up to make it native for 24 and supposed to be all free for existing owners. That's astounding. That's absolutely astounding. Wow. Well, that's good to know, because if that means I get a free update for the Honda Jet, then we can probably give that a go in the sim as well in 2024. It depends, you know, if you've bought it through third-party publishers, though, like Orbix. I don't know how it works with that. Nighthawk says the CRJ V2 is Microsoft 2024 compatible and not yet upgraded to FS24 standards. It gets confusing. Well, yeah, I mean, all that means is it doesn't have the additional set of drag points and thrust points that 2024 now offers. So what PMDG has decided to do is they're not going to port their aircraft over and just make it compatible. They're basically somewhat redeveloping their products to take full advantage of Microsoft 2024's. Oh, sorry, I just kicked my headphones again. 2 seconds.
Sorry, where was I? Yeah, so they're PMDG is actually redeveloping their planes to take full advantage of all of the flight dynamic points within 2024. Whereas with this 2020, it's basically just using the 2020 points. It still works fine. I mean, in theory, it should fly exactly the same as it does in 2020. It's just not accounting for as much as what 2024 can offer. Is probably the easiest way to say it. And I don't know how that relates to texturing and things like that. There may be some added stuff here, but I mean, you know, looking at this, guys, this looks good, really good. It's a little bit fuzzy on some things. Like if you really scrutinize, I can see that could be improved, but then I don't think that's because it's a port. I think that's just because that's the way Aerosoft's done it, right? But on the whole, I mean, it's a lovely cockpit to look at. On Orbix, you have to repurchase the V2. Oh, for free. Okay. All right. So, but it is free, right? Cool. So that's good. That's good to know. Well, top of descent is getting closer, guys. It's about just over 40 miles away. I'm just going to take that range down. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's check out that Brunei coast. Lovely. Boris audio really makes a difference, doesn't it? Can you guys hear the engine noise well? Turn the music down a bit just so you can. I think that's really good. Isn't that good? It's one thing I love about if you ever flown the CRJ or the MD-80, because the engines are at the back, it's a lot quieter, and I find it's a lot easier to sleep on those planes as well. You can just hear it. Right? How's that? I think it's pretty good anyway. Better? Yeah. Okay. Top descent is now within a 40-mile bubble, so I'm going to bring that back one more. 30 miles away, roughly. And our 3,500 at Brews where you want to be, so that's what we'll set our altitude at. So as I'm adjusting the knob, you'll see that start to go down. That's what I'm going to change. So here we go. And I like once it gets below 10,000, it automatically starts switching to 500 increments, which is really handy. And then below 5,000, it changes to 100 foot increments. There's 3,500 set. Little peek out the window before we start our descent. Absolutely stunning. Excuse me. Still got a little drink of coffee left. Okay. miles away. Back off that range one more time. Always keep that heading set, so just in case. Beautiful. Yeah, I hope to get all the kinks worked out in 2024. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous simulator. Okay, now top result is coming in now. I'm going to arm the VS mode at this point. And very shortly, as I mentioned, we should see that little blue Q appear down here somewhere to say where we should set our vertical speed. At the same time, we also need to reduce the throttle manually. Give the airplane a fighting chance to stay on profile. And that should take us right down to 3,500. In accordance to what the flight plan indicates. So the VNAV is actually calculating through these altitudes to tell us if we're on profile or not. Okay, just under 10 miles to top of the sun. Okay, here we go. We're going to back off the throttle just a little bit, not a lot. We'll make adjustments as we need to. Slowly. Don't have that key yet, so leave it at 1,000 down. There we go. There's our profile. So it says, please set to, just so you can get a really good look at it. It's asking for just over 2,000. And you can see the vertical deviation indicator now coming back to center. That's where we want to see. Okay, now watch that speed. We'll see that that's starting to creep up a bit. So to maintain our speed at the rate of descent that we've set, we're just going to back that off a little bit more. And just keep an eye to see what we want. It's okay if it drops a little, but we basically want to see that stop moving. Okay, we can see that is now drifting down. Or is it? Well, it looks pretty stable, so I think that's good. So we'll hold that. Then just little adjustments. It's you don't have to be overzealous with it. You just need to watch and see what your airplane is doing. Back in the doghouse there. Look at that. airport down there. Yeah, can't see anybody. I don't know. I think it's something my end. By the looks of it. Aircraft is now asking for 2.2. Again, you don't have to chase it too much. As long as that deviation snowflake is its optimum nicknamed is somewhat to the center, you're basically doing okay. It's not something you have to be spot on. Let's extend that range out a bit. Now, it will give us an indication of where we're going to hit. Now, that is obviously longer than it needs to be, but the VNAV will correct us at some point. And as we get into the heavier air, it's going to slow us down, and our rate of descent is going to be in a much shorter space. So you sacrifice distance for vertical speed. Still slightly above profile, but we're holding there, so I'm just going to leave that set. And you can see the airplane speeding up a bit, so we move back off. Where it gets tricky is when you hit 10,000 feet, you got to slow down to 250, so we make use of the spoilers for that. So I'm going to take it a little bit more. I'm actually going to take it right off so we can get back to our set descent speed. A little bit. Oh, yeah. That's the key thing for this. It's kind of like driving. When you're driving along the road, you're not trying to be right down the middle of the road. You're just trying to make adjustments to generally be in the middle of the road. It's a little bit up. Let's try campfire music. That's better. Some nice scenery music. Look at that coastline. That's beautiful. Lots of beaches. It's not a country I know much about, Brunei. Nighthawk, have you been to Brunei? Just gonna switch this to heading mode just to see if it has changed our course setting. Nope, still set for 031, so that's cool. Profile's looking good. Okay. Now things get interesting. At this point, we want to look at our performance. Thousand feet to land, roughly. Doesn't give us any. Oh, there we go. Uh, 132 VREF, 137. So we'll get that plumbed in. Okay, we are running a little fast again, so we're going to drop that throttle. And I'm just in the background, I'm kind of moving this throttle up and down just to counteract the speed changes. So I can find a sweet spot. $18,000 feet. Natar says 100704. Brunei. So set that. Okay. It's very small and divided into separate parts. What Brunei is, yeah. Look at that, though. That's cool. All sorts of runways all over the place, though, isn't there? You could do a little bit of island hopping around here with airplanes, couldn't you? Speaking of which, I don't think we're going to stick around Brunei, but where are we flying next week, Nighthawk? Get the seatbelts on at this point. Brunei's now starting to fill the horizon, isn't it? Look at that. Can't see anybody. So we'll definitely try and fix that on the ground, just in case it is a setting issue. Speed's holding nicely now. Really depends on what kind of aircraft you want to fly. That's a good question. Well, I think we'll be back in 2020. We could do a high altitude Duke turbine flight. That gives us it's reasonably fast. Gives us a pretty good reach.
Okay, we are picking up the localizer now, but we're going to ignore that. There's Brunei. The airport will be up here somewhere. As I said, we're going to overfly it first at 3,500, and then we'll descend to 2,000 for approach. We are crossing 10,000 now, so we'll get the lights on, and we need to slow right down. So, adjusting the speed doesn't actually do anything, but it just gives me a marker, a good visual indicator of where I want to be. Okay, VNAV is now commanding a reduced approach speed, so I'm going to, I think it's saying 1.5. So I'm switching that up here. Go. And we're going to hit. Look at that. I mean, it's basically telling us exactly what to do, and it's putting our arrival at 3,500 pretty much almost bang on to where we need it. That's actually a bit further back than I want it to be, so I'm going to increase that a little bit, because I'm going to ignore the VNAV now and just look at where that line is. I want that to be before the 3,500 constraint. And we'll also drop down to 210 at this point as well. I should probably just drop the 180 before. There we go. Whoop. Let's get our overhead down. Just to make things a little bit easier so we can look at two places at the same time. But I haven't needed any spoilers at this point, so that's been really useful. Although I am a bit quick, so I'm going to bring those spoilers over. Give the airplane a little bit extra help to get down to 180. We should be seeing that airport below us somewhere. There it is. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to go to heading mode at this point. Altitude horn approaching 3,500. That should help the airplane slow nicely as well. Tuck those spoilers away for the moment. And as we level out, since we've got the thrust at idle, that plane's going to slow right down. Range down a bit. There we go. You can see that plane. It's really starting to drop now. We've got to have a little bit of extra attention at this point just to keep the speed where it needs to be, so the throttle can start coming up a bit. I'll bring out one stage of flaps just to give us a little bit of extra drag, so we don't need the spoilers anymore. That music right down. Speed adjustments here are a lot more significant. Okay, at this point, we are still on heading mode. I'm going to be switching over to VOR mode. That's now giving me an indication localizer. Double check course is 031. That's what we want. So we're kind of coming along here like this. We're going to skirt out to the side and then come back intercept 031 for the ILS. So 108.9, we can now put that on as well. We'll arm that. There it is. That is now the active frequency in nav 1. Okay, and we are going to take about 30 degrees out. And we're going to drop 3,000. 2,200, I can't remember. 1,000 feet per minute should do it. You can check that on our legs page, actually. Now that's the flight plan's advanced, but we can just ignore that because at this point all we're looking at is where the localizer is, and we're going to use the ILS to come in. And we can see the distances there as well. So that's currently 9 miles and increasing, which is perfect. Okay, thrust idle. I wasn't watching the speed there, so we need to bring that back. Oh, Stu, sorry I missed that. Take care, mate. All the best to you. And our rough speed, I think, was 143, was it? 137. Okay, radio altitude's coming in as well. Really getting low to those trees. Look at that, it's nice though. Okay, that's looking good. I'll bring the airplane, swing that around for a localizer intercept. I want to drop below 160 though. And flaps 8. Let's get a little bit of extra drag. About there. And what we're going to do is we're going to arm nav, but you'll see heading stays on. This is because we're now in VOR track. And the nav will act as a localizer. And we've got a vertical path indicator there as well. So indicate cabin crew prepare for landing. Look at this beautiful, beautiful country though. Very flat, but very lush. Now, if we've done everything correctly, that nav, the heading should disappear on its own, and the airplane will lock onto the localizer. Running hot again. I keep forgetting to watch that speed. Okay, there it is. That's capture. See the headings come off and now the nav's on. It's really just exactly like smaller planes at this point. Okay. You know, it has struggled to capture that a bit, so what am I going to do? So just give it a helping hand. Just so it doesn't overcorrect. And we'll arm that nav again once it gets onto that course. does struggle, I think, a little bit when you a little bit slow. Get that up. You probably hold that there. Actually, that's not too bad. Yeah, it's always a balance of trying to get the speed right. Okay, I can see that indicator comes down, so I'm going to arm approach mode. And we'll drop the gear. Want to get round to about 137, don't we? Airplane's descending. And full flaps. Go full deviation. Oh. The airplane's struggling a bit. I do have visual though, so I'm going to I think we'll just take over at this point, shall we? So there you go. Maybe not the best ILS tracker, but this is where the heads-up display is good, because I want to be about 137 as the approach land speed. We have flaps now fully extended. It's extremely responsive, very, very responsive airplane. Slow. Or was it 143? It was 143, wasn't it? No, it was 137. It was 137. There you go. You even get a flight path indicator on this, which is kind of interesting. Down trim.
500. 400. 400.
A little bit low. A little bit low. Probably not the best approach, but there we go.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
I'll do. Reverser's coming on. And braking. Reverser's off.
Well, I'm pretty happy with that one. I didn't think that was too bad at all, actually. Okay. The strips can come off. Find yourselves a gate, and then we'll see if we can fix this multiplayer issue. Good. Brakes on, and APU power is available, and we'll take off that one. And engine 1, 2, and engine 1. Seatbelts can come off. Oh, I heard a chime that time. Put that away. And we'll come here. Let's get the chocks on. Net ground power. And we'll open the door. Okay, and boost pumps can come off at this point. And the APU can come off as well. Select AC power. DC service off. Bob's your uncle. Alright, let's see if we can see anybody coming in. And if we can't, don't see any name tags. Oh, I do see Nighthawk. You guys are there, but you're not renting. Mrs. Tippy, what are you flying today? Oh, Nighthawk's walking around. You're beside me. Okay, this is very strange. That's a bit strange, isn't it? Presume Nighthawk's in a plane? That's so weird. Alright, let's have a look. Let's see what our settings are. Online. Voice chat. Data consumption, data warning, bandwidth unlimited, that's fine. Translate other players, no, I don't need that. Show multiplayer aircraft in close proximity. Multiplayer's on. Aircraft traffic type. That's AI traffic though, I don't want that. Other players you see are determined by your flight conditions, whatever that means. Flight dynamics 6, no, that's not going to do anything for me. Your CRG is right behind me in the same livery, okay. Air traffic. Not what I want. Texture resolution low. I don't know. Can't see anything jumping out at me. Show traffic nameplates. One above air traffic. Sorry, which menu? Oh, hey Nick, how you doing? Long time no see.
The one above air traffic. Was this in the online settings? Graphics. Traffic airport quality. Characters quality. What is it? What do they mean by characters? Alright, let's try that, setting that to high then for a sec, just see what that does. Oh! No, so I can, but I'm not seeing multiplayer, that's just adding static aircraft, isn't it? Yeah, I don't see that necessarily making a difference with, that's just giving me, like, static AI traffic more or less. Which is what I thought it did. So, no, it's definitely something else. Something else. Turn that off. Try that ultra. See what that does. Ah! Got it. I think I've just fixed it. You were in the right ballpark anyway. Nick, thanks for that. Don't know why that's showing up. Where's Nighthawk? Where's Mrs. Tippy? Is she still around? At least I can see a CRJ now. That's good. Nighthawk. Oh no, that's... Why is Nighthawk showing twice? Is that because you're walking outside the airplane? I'm confused. Miss Tippy, are you still loaded in as well? Yeah, she's there, so that's not showing up. But that could be because of a rendering issue. You have a huge stream lag. Alright, okay. Try just reloading. You are walking around. Okay, all right. That's why I'm confused. Could you load back in the 900? And you're walking around as well, Mrs. Tippy. Okay, fair enough. I just can't see Mrs. Tippy's airplane. Okay, that seems to have resolved some of the problems, though. So that's good. Okay. Anyway, we'll mess about with it on the next time we're flying 2024. I think we'll probably be back in 2020 next week, though, for the Duke turbine. So look for the flight plan for that. Anyway. Sure, I don't know if I want to do that. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you flying with me today. I'm sorry that the multiplayer was being a bit funny, but it looks like I might have had a setting not in the correct place, so hopefully next time everything will be a lot better. It's one of these things, once you get everything set properly, you never touch it again. So, Mr. Tippy, yeah, take care. You as well, Mr. Tippy. Thanks for coming in. Avatar's hanging around for a while, but you're in the same CRJ livery as me. Okay, right, that's fair enough. Did I kind of... Just as I look at you, you've disappeared again, so I don't know. Could be a server thing. Not sure. Thank you, Mrs. Tippy. No, much appreciated. Wish you guys all the best. And hope you have a pleasant weekend. Take care. See you soon.